Greetings, I'm in landscape. That is because today, lovely Linda Paiges went on the Trekommendations podcast and talked about me. And I really wanted to react to it, so here I am. I'm gonna watch it, and I thought I'd bring you guys with me to watch it. So, my laptop is right here, so I will be looking over here. Yeah.
Welcome to Trekommendations, the show where a guest helps me to navigate through almost 60 years of Star Trek content to find some hidden gems. And beaming in this week, we have the wonderful Linda Paiges, who features on a number of Star Trek podcasts like The Transporter Room or Treknopod. Welcome, Linda.
Hi, thank you so much for having me. Well, I'm so honored. Thank you so much for reaching out. This is such a cool concept for a podcast. I'm so excited.
It really
is. This was such a good idea.
Well, thank you. Let's just stop the recording there before. Let's end on a positive. That sounds wonderful. So let's start with the first question. That would be, could you please tell us your favorite Starfleet uniform?
Oh, what a great question.
Maybe Voyager.
I really like the Voyager ones. I really like Voyager.
I know you, girl.
So we can move on to your recommendation, what you're bringing to the show today. In 60 seconds or less, could you please tell us what is your recommendation and why have you brought it to the show?
Yes. Okay, my recommendation is the wonderful Gracie Ann. She is a Star Trek content creator and EDM music producer. She makes Star Trek EDM. And when I tell you, she is one of the most talented people I have ever had the privilege of encountering and meeting. I have not met her in person yet, but I hope to one day. But EDM music is not really my thing. I love music. She has made me listen to EDM because of how talented she is. She produces all of this herself. She writes it. It's just absolutely phenomenal. And it's so much fun to have Star Trek specific music to listen to get to like jam out while I'm getting ready in the morning to a song about Janeway or Moopsie. And she is just one of the sweetest human beings, and she just deserves all of the love and support to her page and for her music. Because in addition to being incredibly talented, she's incredibly kind. So I had to come on here and talk about her.
Okay, so are we recommending Gracie Ann or her music, or can we not separate the two? Is this a Tuvix situation? We cannot separate the two.
No, I do have my Tuvix Lives bracelet on. I am still firmly team #bye bye Tuvix, but this was gifted to me at a con. So I'm recommending her music and her page. Her page. She, most of her content is about her music, but she does just make some fun Star Trek content as well. But her music really is phenomenal. She really is incredibly talented. And I was really surprised when I encountered her, and I was just gonna listen to it because it was Star Trek and it was cool and that was fun. I hadn't really seen that before, and I really was surprised by how impressed I was by her talent and her ability to produce music. So let me tell you, that is not an easy thing to do at all. So and it's Star Trek themed. So it's you get songs about all of your favorite characters and your favorite episodes. She's working on a Jeffrey Combs song right now.
I am.
which is so funny. She's so creative. So yes, I guess I'm technically recommending her music, but also her.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we can't. So this is a case of where we can't separate the art from the artist. That discussion.
Another thing that I love about her and her music is that it's not canon, right? It's not officially licensed by Star Trek. It's just someone who loves it so much and is so inspired by it. And that's something that I'm just constantly amazed by, the influence that Star Trek has had on every field, right? There are people in just polar opposite fields that are doing what they're doing because of Star Trek. I'm majoring in physics because I grew up watching Star Trek, right? And then Gracie Ann is making music because she grew up watching Star Trek, and there are people who are acting because they grew up watching Star Trek, and they're just in all of these different fields. And I always am amazed. I've never ceased to be amazed by that kind of impact. There are very few other franchises I think that have had that kind of impact across the board. I don't know that there are many fields that Star Trek hasn't significantly impacted, which is just phenomenal. I mean, we talk about it a lot in the space industry, and in STEM, and especially women in STEM, when we look at characters like Janeway, who have influenced women in STEM, or just I guess Voyager in general influenced women in STEM so much. But there's a lot of other fields or a lot of people who have gone into other fields because of Star Trek. So I just love that she is a Trekkie, a huge nerd, and a fan, and then has this incredible talent and has merged the two, and found this niche and found people that are like moths to a flame for this niche, right? Like who are consuming this content, and I think that's amazing.
Linda, I love you so much. You were the sweetest person ever. Oh my goodness. That was so sweet. I actually think that's such a good sentiment. And if that's what people are taking away as well, is that, like, you know, it's creating so much impact in all fields. That is awesome. I never even thought about it that way. I mean, obviously I've thought about the impact it's had, but I never thought like of me being a part of that. This is really making me emotional, and I'm trying not to get sappy. We still have a good amount left. There may be tears. Let's hope not.
I'd love to know the overlap, like the Venn diagram of people that love this kind of music in general, people that love Star Trek, and how much that overlaps. Or, because I think you said you don't even really previously listen to this. This isn't your kind of music, but it's the Star Trek element that brought you in. I'd love to know if it works the other way for other people, that they're like, oh, I actually went and watched this episode of Star Trek because I just liked the music and I wanted to understand the references.
Yeah, I am absolutely positive that there are people who have encountered her and then just loved the music and then watched Star Trek because of it. I would have to like stalk her comments a little bit to find to find the people who have done that, but I am 100% positive that there are people.
There are.
And then on top of that, she's just so lovely, and so so kind, and she's just which is always. I've been following her for a while now, and not in a creepy way. Just I found her, on social media, like on my free page, and I've been following for a while, long before I started making my own Trek content. And so, I was really excited that she was, so kind, and because that always restores your faith in humanity, right? When like you look up to someone and then they actually end up being like a really good person, and
oh my god.
Yeah,
so how did you come across her stuff then initially?
I was scrolling on my For You page.
Yeah.
And I found one of her songs. I think she was maybe at the time teasing a song about Q. And
right.
And I was like, someone makes music about Star Trek. So I went to her page, and of course, like, she had all the Star Trek content and all the Star Trek music, and and I found a song that she had made about Janeway, and I was like, oh, that's it. Like, this is my new favorite person. Yeah, there you go.
It doesn't take much, does it, Linda? Let's be honest.
No. I did listen to her Janeway song on the way to Florida SuperCon to meet Kate Mulgrew, and then also in the car on the way back for meeting Kate Mulgrew that day. So yeah, she just and she has like she has music about all of the Star Trek shows. Like, it covers a really wide range. Like all the Star Trek shows, like a bunch of different characters and episodes, and just some general Star Trek music. Like, she has a song called Star Trek Sweethearts, which is like a love song that like with Star Trek lyrics, and it's just so much fun to listen to and jam out to. And even like my friends who aren't Trekkies, like when I put it on, they're like, this is like really good. Like, they don't even care that it's Star Trek, because they just,
no way,
she's just that good. Like, she just makes good music that you want to listen to, even if it's not really your genre.
Yeah, and so there will be people that are just like, I don't like Star Trek. Like, have you ever watched Star Trek? No, but I don't like Star Trek. That's not my kind of thing, right? And I do think when there is something that is just so good that you will like it regardless, you can be like, look, just watch this or listen to this or read that. This is just a really well written book. You can pretend the characters are, in any other universe you like. Just read it. And they read it, right, and they're like, this was a fantastic book. And it happened to also be Star Trek. So I do think if you have found someone that is very talented. So full disclosure, I don't listen to any music.
You don't listen to any music?
This will upset you as a musician. But
yeah.
I'm just going to close my window. It's Scotland weather.
My family
We're back.
Love music. Love music. My kids are singing from morning till night.
Yay.
They're all, my wife is musical. Everyone is musical. I'm even a little bit musical. I can play some instruments.
You just don't listen to it.
I'd rather listen to a podcast. So that's all.
I mean, that's okay. That's okay. I just that had to be your answer.
So going back to your original Trekommendations.
Yes.
As someone who doesn't really listen to music, isn't across all the genres, how would you describe her music? When would I be listening to it? Why is it something that I might think, like, I mean, you were saying you were listening to her song about Janeway while driving to a convention for a very obvious reason.
Yes.
What is it? Is this like to put me in a good mood, to put me in a bad mood? Like, why would I be listening to this? When would I be listening to it?
Good mood. This is on my getting ready in the morning. This is on my like hype playlist. This is on my I'm getting ready to go out with my friends. This is like those are the playlists that her songs are on for me. Or like I need motivation to like clean my room, so I need like a really good playlist so I can like dance around and pretend that I'm being productive kind of thing. Yeah, her music is definitely feel good. Just you can't help but like kind of dance along to it. I put her music on a lot when I drive. I'm sure the people that I pull up next to at red light think I'm crazy because I'm just like jamming out like to Star Trek music in my car alone. Yeah, for sure. It's definitely feel good and happy.
Girl.
Okay. How quickly would I understand that this is Star Trek music?
I think it depends on how closely you're listening to the words. Right. I mean, like she sampled Moopsie in her Moopsie song, so obviously if you're a Star Trek fan, like you know you're gonna recognize that. I think it depends. I don't. There are a couple of the songs that like, obviously, like if it's called Janeway, so you know it's about Janeway. But I don't know, like if you. I think you might just be able to listen to it, and like if I didn't tell you it was Star Trek and you knew nothing about Star Trek, you might not know. But it is 100%.
And I don't even know if this is a good or a bad thing. Like I'm not even saying one way or the other, because I guess it depends. If somebody's like, Star Trek is my life, and I want that as soon as someone hears this, they would go, aha, you're listening to Star Trek music. Or it's somebody who's going, my partner doesn't like Star Trek, but this could be the way in. This could be how I start to inset Star Trek really into their mind without them realizing it. So I'm not saying either way is good or bad. I'm just curious as to kind of how long I'd need to listen to a track to be like, oh yeah, I see.
Most of her songs probably not long. Like most of the songs, you're probably
a few seconds in, and I'm like,
this is definitely Star Trek. There are a couple songs that you might be able to get away with if someone like didn't know, like had never seen Star Trek, didn't know anything about it, and you weren't showing them the cover art. You might be able to get away with and not telling them the song that you might be able to go a little bit longer without them realizing. But it's just so much fun to have media by a fan that is something that we wouldn't get from Star Trek, you know what I mean? Something that we wouldn't get from Star Trek. Like we get like fun, upbeat Star Trek lyrics in these songs, and it's just so much fun to have, like to be able to listen to that. That I would not be surprised if her Janeway song is in like my top 5 most listened to songs this year. It wouldn't shock me even a little bit. Yeah. So
now, is that because of the song or the love of Janeway? It's hard to tell, isn't it?
Listen, it could be both. Her Moopsie song might make it too, honestly. I love Moopsie. Yeah, I love Moopsie so much. Yeah, I just, like I said, like it's kind of been my go-to, honestly, the past few months, just like putting her like music on shuffle. Again, I obviously listen to the Janeway song a lot, but I listen to pretty much all of her music. It's just fun to have a fandom that creates so much. Like we have so much in our Star Trek fandom. We have artists and we have musicians and we have writers. So we have just this outpour of media, fan fiction and fan art and edits and all of these things. And that is really a gift that this franchise is, just turned 59 years old. And we still have so much love for it. And that there are so many fans that contribute and give back to it in such beautiful ways and use their creativity and their talent to appreciate it and to let other fans have more content to consume. Yeah. And I just think that Gracie is just such a perfect example of that.
Yeah, Linda.
Yeah.
I mean, I love it as a suggestion because it is absolutely something I would not find on my own.
Yeah.
Like there is no way I'm stumbling across this. Like it's not turning up in the suggested for you, page for me, because they're like, you don't care. But I love that, and if anything, again, like it doubles down on the purpose of this show, is that it's something I would never discover by myself. Now I'm going to go and listen to it. I am curious, just as somebody who doesn't listen to a lot of music myself anyway, that will be the thing people remember from this show. That will be what loses me any followers I would have had on this show. It's like, this guy doesn't listen to music.
That's what's going to go viral on TikTok. That's going to be that clip of you saying you don't listen to music.
Yeah, to a musician about another musician. I don't listen to music.
Yeah, there you go.
It's okay.
But what was I going to say? I don't remember what I was going to say. Oh yeah, like how much other Star Trek music is there out there? Like obviously, I'm not talking about
I have a playlist.
the music for the films or for the intros of different shows, but this kind of thing where, because despite the fact that I don't really listen to music, I am very across, just music in general again, because I live in this world.
I just want to say, I actually have a playlist on my Spotify account. If you go onto my Spotify, there's a playlist there called Star Trek Artists, and it's a playlist of a bunch of other artists that make Star Trek music. Most of it's kind of like rock, but I think that's so cool. I'm always up for people to tell me more Star Trek musicians that they find so that I can add it to the roster. But yeah, I just wanted to put that out there. Please go and support them. There needs to be more Star Trek in the world.
Yeah, so there's definitely more than Gracie can. I have been recommended a few that I honestly have not had the time yet to go through and and listen to. But yes, there are more. I think there are a couple of bands, and there might be a couple other solo artists who are making Star Trek music, which is just awesome. It's just really cool that Star Trek has inspired musicians as well as scientists and astronauts and this whole slew of careers. I mean, what other franchise has done that? That's a gift.
Okay, so that was really nice to watch. Most of my reaction was just me giggling, or blushing, or trying not to cry. I feel like I didn't say much, but what I do want to say now is thank you so much, Linda. You are so kind. That was really lovely to hear, and I'm really appreciative that you wanted to go on that podcast and say all that stuff about me. I really appreciate you. You are wonderful. You're a very kind person. I can't wait for your music to come out. Maybe I'll go on a podcast to talk about you. I'm gonna watch this back every single time that I'm sad, because that was really nice. You didn't have to say all that. That was so nice. That was really nice of you. I think what I'm taking away from this podcast the most is that I'm perceived as a nice person. That's like really cool, because I'm like that like means a lot to me. Also, like, it's just so cool like that I made it into a podcast. Also, Trekommendations is a great concept for a podcast. I'm really excited about this. I hope it grows and gets the attention it deserves. Please go over there and watch the full episode. I'm only going to be showing the clips where I reacted, but the whole thing is awesome. You learn so much about Linda, a lot about Jason. It's such a good podcast. It's very genuine. It's a very genuine podcast. And I think that's like one of the most important things is I feel like I'm watching a genuine conversation rather than something that doesn't have any heart in it. This podcast has a lot of heart and soul and passion for Star Trek, and that's like all the best things. That's all the trilogy of the best things. So yeah, thank you so much for talking about me on there. Thank you so much for all the kind words, and that meant a lot to me. Live long and prosper. I love you, Linda. You're awesome.